Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of I Cast Fireball, an actual play 5e D&D adventure where we go through the campaign Skulls and Shackles. I'm Thomas, your DM for this adventure, and around the table we have
Lieutenant Ignis Harkon,
Maximus Shans,
Chozo Lebec, and Buster Bilgewater.
We leveled up! Woo!
Yeah, we did.
We are now at level 10?
That we are, dude. Double digits.
Nice. Double digits. Let's have everybody roll or tell us their hit point totals now, starting with Chozo. Chozo, are you rolling or are you taking the half?
Let's roll it. Okay, that is a 6 on a D8.
Nice.
Plus 2 con, so that brings me up in total to math 76, except technically 86 right now because of the aid we got earlier today.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Very good. Max.
Okay, rolling a d10. It's a 4. I'm at 68.
Okay, sounds good. We now go to Ignis.
I always take the safe option. So half of a d10 is 5, plus 1 is 6, and then plus 2 for my constitution is 8. So I go from 76 to 84 hit points.
Nice. And then finally, Bashta.
A D6, right?
Yep, D6 for a wizard.
I rolled a 1.
You reroll once.
Oh, you reroll ones.
House roll.
That's a home rule.
A 5. Okay.
Okay.
And I got a pretty decent. I think I have a plus. Yeah, my con is a plus 2, so that's an additional 7 to my stuff, which I think puts me at 68 total hit points.
Wow.
Pretty
All
decent
right.
for a squishy guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, level 10 wizard.
the ranger.
I can absolutely start targeting you more in combat now. All right, so we're going to just start...
Now? What do you mean now? What do you mean
Last we
now?
left our adventurers, they were at the bottom of the ocean at the Brine Banshee. Some of them fighting for their lives, some of them exploring other planes against their will, some of them seeing other possibilities, all of them seeing other possibilities of themselves before defeating the enemy in front of them. Jezriah, the captain of the Brine Banshee, forced into servitude of what is left behind. Chozo forming the killing blow for this undead enemy, but Buster maintaining a concentration spell of reading their mind, and Max approaching a mysterious figure, presenting a card. We jump into this week's episode of I Cast Fireball. Max, as you growl at this individual, asking them, "Why did you choose me?" They just smile, and as you get closer, it is a woman's face and hands that you see as she opens her mouth and she speaks and goes, "Oh, child." And that's all she says as you approach her. Is there anything you wish to say or do to her?
Does Max recognize the voice?
Yes, this is the individual.
Okay.
All those months, that long time ago, that you saw in an alleyway where you pulled your original card, which altered your life forever.
Max will, still in a growling tone, just respond, "Who are you?"
As she laughs, a soft, beautiful laugh, almost like a tinkling upon the wind. You see from her fingertips the same purple essence that just sorts of like seep off of her fingers as they extend towards you before turning upwards to the sky. This purple, tinkling, glittering sky that seems to go on for eternity and eternity. And as you look up, you blink, and after you open your eyes, you see the remnants of the Brine Banshee above you. You are back in this realm, this plane of existence. And you see around you your allies and the slumped over figure of the captain. with Buster, who has swum closer, maintaining a connection to the captain. And Max, you are with her no more. Buster, you are reading Jezriah's mind.
Yeah, well, I wanna probe even deeper, especially because often our thoughts go to the things that are most significant to us in the end. I want to see where his head goes as he's beginning to fade.
Are we out of combat or no?
We are out of combat.
Okay.
Buster, I will, for flavor of the spell, it is a spell save, and they are defeated, but not dead. I will give them disadvantage to save against this.
I will make him roll an 8.
Okay. That is a failure then.
That's all my divination for the day.
All right. You are probing one level deeper.
I want to know, I'd like to know what happened to the Banshee that's made it this plane, or what's connected it to the planes, if I can.
Yes. Well, as you and Jezriah are in this realm, he speaks his words, his truth to you of what drove him and what sort of he defined himself to be. You step closer to him and he shies backwards and says to you, in this realm, which again is just an arcane state of mind right now. And he goes, You don't wish to go there. I promise you. You don't wish to. As Buster or as there's a...
I say to him, if I can, because we're in the realm of thought, I bring up the thought of ataraxia, and I want to communicate to him, you have people you devoted your life to protect, and you failed. There are still people I am living to protect. Help me find them.
As he sees this image of ataraxia in the blackness, almost like in this sphere that you're in, ataraxia's image is projected in a dozen different places, in a dozen different situations. You sitting with him, you having your employee review with him, you in the captain's quarters, you drinking and him writing and you just listening to you speak. Ataraxia speaking to those with prestidigitation, satyr horns for respect. All of these scenarios just plastered all around you, and Buster, you are filled with a solemnity, but a determination, which has been building for ever since he's left your side, to find, to help, and you pierce further into Jezriah's thoughts of what happened to this ship. And Jezriah, defeated, looks at you and says, I'm sorry. And then your mind enters Jezriah's eyes, and you see the sea as he's at the helm with the wheel turning and being buffeted about by a light storm, but one where the waves, they come and they crash down. And Jezriah's crying out to those to tie down some of the barrels and to get those that are unable to fight below.
I'd like to imagine that as this is happening, the rest of you just hear Buster saying what Jezriah was saying, but it's Buster's voice out in the other world, like saying, tie down the ropes. And so Buster's eyes go white in the back of his head, and you're just hearing him parrot what Jezriah says. As you look over Jezriah, as you are embodying Jezriah now, Buster, you look over to the port side and you see a woman running up to Jezriah and be like, Jezriah, we can't outrun them, they're too close behind. And Jezriah looks behind, and as he does, Buster, you see a familiar ship. Actually, it's familiar to all four of you, which, if all of you could... Well, not Chozo, I should say, sorry. As this is Harrigan's ship that you were forced into servitude, into slavery. And Harrigan standing dangerously at the front of the ship, glaring down as this wave washes over him. He disappears in a froth of sea before it falls back down. And Jezriah looks to the crew of the Brian Banshee and being like, hold firm, hold steady. Perhaps they'll let us work off any debt they might force us into, but don't retaliate. Do not retaliate against them. And
looks to the woman and says, "Raise the white flag. We're going to bring them in." And she goes, "Jezriah, you know what? You do what I say as your captain." And she solemnly goes and raises the white flag. And as the ship comes close and boards the Brine Banshee, Harrigan is the sole individual that steps onto the Brine Banshee, is just as imposing, as frightfully to see, as you recall, Buster. 7 feet tall, a human, and just every inch of him reeked of intimidation, of a festering wickedness that inflicted fear upon all those that were in his presence. Harrigan, dressed as you might say, traditional captain with a long coat on, going down almost to the heels of his boots, slowly, methodically, and loudly thumps onto the Brine Banshee with his tricorn hat, baring his teeth. "Which one of you pitiful humans is the captain of this pathetic vessel?" Jezriah steps forward. "It is I. I lead this crew, and I'm willing to negotiate terms to where me and the first mate and any leaders here on ship can work off any debt or compensation you..." Harrigan takes his massive fist and slaps him, backhands him across the face. As Jezriah falls to the ground, losing almost consciousness immediately. And Buster, you experience all of this as it's happening. The rest of you, you see Buster fall to the deck of the Brine Banshee, almost recreating this entire scene. "I have no need for your words. What binding words would you have that you could offer me?" He lifts his voice so the rest of the crew can hear. "Congratulations to all of you worthless souls. You will all be used for something bigger, brighter than any of you could ever have possibly imagined. For you will fuel something that has begun before you and will last long after your lives will be extinguished." And he's turning and grandizing this speech. He's speaking to all of them as he steps around the ship. "I only need the word of your captain here, as frustrating as that is. He's the only one that can truly save you from certain death." And as he looks at Jezriah, he grabs one of the crew members by the back of their head, by the hair, and lifts them above, lifting them above to where they're in the air. And this man grabbing his head, grabbing Harrigan's hand, and just like sort of like, "Ah, yeah!" And he's a large man, but Harrigan picks him up as if he were nothing and holds him over the side of the Brine Banshee. "I only need your word that you and your crew will serve me for as long as your souls exist." Jezriah calls out and says, Unhand him! Put him down! Put him down, I say!" And Harrigan, without a thought, lets go of him. But instead of him falling into the ocean below, there is a small portal that begins to open around him. And as he falls slowly in through the air, he falls into this portal. And without describing in full detail what happens to this individual, Jezriah realizes with horror that this pit, this portal, is a portal to the Nine Hells directly, with Harrigan thrusting them through any preparation, any help, any aid to a dimension not his own. And what that does to this innocent, pure soul. In horror, Jezriah realizes the evil that seeps from Harrigan. As Harrigan slowly steps forward and leans down to the deck. "Your word of servitude, and your crew does not suffer the same fate. Deny me, and and you all go the way where your souls are lost and flayed and destroyed for all eternity. Jezriah, seeing the fire in his eyes, and I'll say literal fire, where pupils would be, is just this flame in each of his eyes that burns and burns. It's just a seething evil. Poor Jezriah, with an impossible situation at hand, with an impossible task before, and with the weight of all of his crew upon him. Jezriah, who just wanted to save the ones that he loved, including Annalise, as he looks over to her, the woman who raised the white flag. He swears. And Buster, you say in your voice, as Jezriah, "We swear fealty to you, Harrigan. Now please save my..." A flame erupts from the ocean, cutting the brine banshee in two, and the flame turns into hands, 9 distinct hands, that pulls the 2 portions of the ship down to the bottom of the sea. Each of these hands grow until they engulf and envelop those that are on the deck, and those that scream or try to jump off. A hand grabs them and pulls them back into the pillar as they just get pulled under the water. And Harrigan, undisturbed by these hands, slowly walks back to his ship as the brine banshee sinks further and further down, each of their souls trapped to this ship, while at the same time being eternally tied to servitude of Harrigan and the 9 hells.
Oh, Buster now realizing he's like in a different spot than he was before. Like, it's looking up.
You look over, Buster, at the undead white version of Jezriah, and although they're limp, their head to the side, you almost see their head turn towards you just ever so slightly before just going limp yet again.
Okay. Gotta be careful of diving into the thoughts of a dead man. Everybody okay?
This whole scene unfurled in front of you for about 6 minutes max.
As Buster is saying that, like, oh, don't dive into the thoughts of the dead man. Is everything okay? Like, almost cutting it off, you hear the butt of Max's crossbow bash into the undead skull of this captain and continues to hit while Max is just shouting, "Who is she? Take me back there! Get me back there!" And he's just wailing on this captain with the butt of his crossbow, kind of repeating those phrases over and over. He's not hearing anything.
Max! Hey! Ignis, help me out. He's gonna try and pull him off.
Ignis is still laying on the deck of the ship, and instead of her responding, her echo responds and steps forward and starts trying to push Max back with
Just kind of like the
Buster
arm grab on either side to try and like just, hold him back so he can calm down.
Yep.
Which it sounds, Max, there's maybe some resistance at first as the crew tries to pull you off. They wrap their arms around you and they try multiple times until finally they're able to pull you back enough to where you're out of immediate bashing range of the undead captain. And you see that, this undead creature there is less undead.
More dead than
undead. Max away.
More dead than undead.
Max, as soon as he's kind of coming to his senses a little bit and realizing people are touching him, he'll just like turn and yell straight at the face that's right in front of him. What? And it's Ignis's echo.
Get it hold of yourself! You're making a mockery of your title. She'll hit him once on the chest, even. Just to that little bit of pain, maybe to, like, restart him and keep him in the present.
Max, does he realize, can we distinguish echoes from the real Ignis?
It's very visibly color-wise, right?
Also armored.
Or maybe not, Mickey.
So mechanically in this moment, I'm actually going to use her Echo Avatar ability that sometime during the fight that had happened and realizing that this version of herself is so weak to feel this fear and this emotion, she has allowed her soul to bleed from that body. This armored Ignis is more in reality, which is disorienting because she is physically there and physically in this red armor with this red gold coronet around her head, and her wings are just so vibrant and she's glowing, but she's in armor under this water, which is not the way that you had. So I don't know how much you care about that fact, but this to you feels like a physical Ignis standing here. Yeah, it's not an echo. You can tell this is not an echo.
Feels physical, but definitely like Ignis wasn't wearing that coming down to the bottom of the ocean.
Right. But she's intensely locked with Max.
Max is just kind of staring at this echo, realizing it's real and disorienting, yeah. And it's not necessarily the real Ignis, though. Just saying to the echo in front, I didn't want that title, and you are just a possibility that failed.
Then give me the title. Then renounce it!
Hang on, we don't need to be making big decisions here, okay?
Let's talk about
Listen. Everybody needs to calm down, okay? Bad guys are dead. The portal stuff is still here. Some kind of planar, I don't know, the echoes of it, he says, kind of looking at the Ignis, are still around. So, Max, let's let cooler heads prevail here, please.
I think at this point you hear kind of a whoosh sort of noise coming from near the railing, and you look over and see that Chozo has in each of his taloned hands a large lobster and is using the produced flame from his torchling to start cooking them, and begins walking towards the crew and says, "You have all experienced a degree of soul shock from the planar instability in this region. You all need to get some food into your bellies. It will help to anchor your mind to your physical form."
Ignis will look at Max and say, "You're the leader. You need to keep your emotions in check if you're going to be leading us." And she'll shove him back into the railing right next to the thing.
Is this Echo or is this Ignis?
No, this is Echo Ignis. She is reality for the moment. And she'll shove him into the railing right there next to the thing to keep him present in the moment. And then she'll go over to Chozo as he's cooking the lobster.
Yes. Chozo, easy enough for sure to get some seafood down here.
Seafood
of course.
in the ocean, imagine that.
Buster goes, don't worry. I always pack a sandwich. He pulls it out, and it just starts disintegrating into little pieces.
Oh my gosh!
As he didn't think about the effects of water on the sandwich.
Oh, my pastrami! Oh no! Oh, that's brilliant. I love that. Ignis, you get... I should say Echo Ignis, because that's who you are right now.
Sure.
Echo Ignis, getting a lobster
Ignis?
from Chozo.
Ignis? Is that what you said?
Ignis! There we go.
Avnis?
Chozo already chomping down on some of his food. Echonis getting the next one. We'll workshop the name. But moving over to Buster, seeing his pastrami sandwich just disintegrating in the deep sea, it'd be too salty anyway. But Max, you're left with this frightening time, high stress time, of course. What is Max going through? before Chozo comes his way with his food.
Max is just thinking back on any detail he can from what he saw, what he witnessed, reflecting back on the night versus what he saw here, just trying to figure out any answer, any clue, any part, and then just thinking of Echo Ignis's words to him that this is not what a captain should be doing, this isn't worthy of what you are, and just thinking how true those words are, not to the point of like, yeah, you need to be better, but to the point of, yeah, you're not a captain. What are you doing? Not to the point of saying like, why are you with these people? Like, you should leave the party, but more of like what are you doing? Like, it's not a thing to him like that he's questioning leaving or anything, but it's more of like, I know I should stay. I need to help these people. They have become my friends, but also I have no answers. I have no anchor in a hurricane of an ocean, and I can't stop.
Would you say it's like, as you describe that, the thing come to my head, and correct me if you don't mean this, is it more of like doubt in your own abilities?
I think so.
As captain, then?
It's just doubt that it won't, like, Max will never find an answer, that he isn't right to help this crew find Ataraxia in terms of, like, being a leader to it. He's a hunter. He's a fighter. Just enjoy the moment, not plan ahead and think about how my actions affect others in terms of long-term morale. It's more of, he's just not used to having a captain's mindset.
As you have all of these thoughts, it's at that point that Chozo finally comes up to you and offers you some food to ground you.
Thank you, but not exactly hungry in the moment.
Which is all the more reason why your body needs the nourishment. You are experiencing things unfamiliar to your physical form. You need to ground.
I need to ground in water.
That is the difficulty, yes. You have to create your own ground.
Max just thinks to himself, like, that was my wife. My wife was my ground. She was the ballast. She was the
Chozo,
ballast.
does this food help us find the portal?
The portal is below us within the ship, it seems. But before we decide to step through, there will need to be some rituals to go through. We'll need to study the essences of the portal itself, see what we can do to realign it to our goals.
And how long will that take?
Well, part of this depends on how long it takes us to settle our emotions. Particularly where we are trying to get to the Fey Realm, it is a place much governed by emotion and can be greatly influenced by the same.
Oh, you're telling me how we feel is going to affect where we go?
Quite possibly, yes.
Max, where did you go? Made you flip out like that?
I went to my hell. My own personal hell.
Okay. That,
Do you care to be more specific than that?
Not particularly, no.
I saw Tim in mine. Remember Tim? You wouldn't, Chozo. He was, before your time, but I saw Tim. I was covered by the mud hands that kind of protect me at times of great stress, and accidentally sucked him up. Yeah. So, my own particular kind of hell, I guess, too.
Ignis will look over at Chozo with her armored arms folded. Is this part of some kind of trap or trick or some kind of test we have to solve or to be able to pass through? If you're trying to calm mortal emotions to be able to go through the portal, is this some kind of test that they have to pass to go through it?
Chozo's gonna kind of tilt back his head in what you detect is maybe like a moment of exasperation and say, Ignis, not everything is a test by your deity. not everything is related to her trying to prove your worth.
Called out there. Okay, rude.
The planes are not sapient things. They are forces of the natural and magical world surrounding us. We may try to bend them to our will, but ultimately we are going with the planar flow. The more we try to align ourselves with the flow of what is natural, the better chance we will have of getting where we wish to go. Yes?
So you want us to focus on crazy timelines and weird flowers to try and get to the Feywild?
I hate to interrupt. I know that these seem like important conversations. He's gonna look at Max because I feel like he and Max are aware of what's wrong right now. And he goes, but you're not our Ignis.
Max will, on that word, he will completely ignore the echo. And, I mean, Ignis, our Ignis is around here, is like within 15, like within the battle.
Yep.
On the ground.
Max will walk toward Ignis.
Yeah, Buster's just gonna be like, well, I appreciate you wanting to figure things out, but we need the one that we've been working with to keep working with this.
Lieutenant.
As you start looking for her, we are up by the helm, so you'd have to walk down the stairs and kind of tucked in a corner down by... On our ship is kind of where the captain's quarter is. There's barrels and other stuff on the ship, and Ignis has tucked herself into that corner because she was under the fear condition, and that Ignis is completely grayed out.
Max will kneel down, kind of finding her. Lieutenant.
She doesn't respond.
Ignis.
When using the Echo Avatar, the original host is deaf and blind when using their avatar.
Max will reach out and touch Ignis's hand. Lieutenant, we need you back.
Where you touch, a piece of that hand fades from that grayscale, and color starts to creep across her hand. But after the hand and part of the forearm are colored, the progress of the coloration stops. Echo Ignis from the helm, though, will be looking over the railing and say, "This is a waste of time. You boys need to get your emotions in check so that we can go to the Feywild, right?" She looks at Chozo.
Stop.
What do you need
Chozo,
to be doing?
Don't. No,
if you
stop.
wish to be pedantic.
Stop talking to her,
first world,
Chozo.
then let's go.
You're not our Ignis.
Then why don't you help us, like you promised you would, and start that process? What do we need to do to start that? And she's just not trying to be combative necessarily, but just so straight to the point of like, Chozo knows about portals. I don't know about portals. Get going on the portal thing.
Very good. Then, step one, we need to align the planar balance as correctly as we can.
I cast lightning bolt on the armored Ignis.
Okay, there we go. Okay, there we go.
Can I do something
Okay.
else real quick? Also, like maybe simultaneous to that, a dual action to help.
It's a DC 16 saving throw.
So let me go ahead and think this through. Chozo begins to speak to Armored Ignis. Max is with our Ignis, and Buster then casts lightning bolts on Armored Ignis.
I don't want armored Ignis to figure out how to transport between realms.
Neither do I.
Fair. Now,
I'm sorry, I was not trying to create a combative thing. This is just like an emotional thing for her.
I don't know that that's... Chozo's just answering questions. I was like, don't tell her anything else.
I was going to tell her she's not the Ignis who belongs in this plane, and to get back to her plane.
I don't know that, Chozo.
And you interrupted him and he couldn't say it.
let's go with Buster shooting a lightning bolt at Armored Ignis. So Buster, as Chozo begins to explain, again, dimensions, planes, Buster, frustrated with this version of Ignis, not real Ignis, being in front, and seemingly afraid that this version of Ignis could become real.
Yeah.
And casting Lightning Bolt, Ignis's echo, which, regardless of the save, disappears into a red, colorful mist, which dissipates.
Buster's mad at Chozo. He's like, why were you telling her how to do this?
I was telling her to get back to where she belongs. It is okay. It is clear to me that we are not ready to make the crossing. Everybody, take 5.
Thank you, 5.
Take 10.
Thank you, 10.
Minutes, hours? We will see. We will reconvene when we are ready to make the crossing. In the meantime, here's some lobster. I will just toss one of the lobsters to Buster.
Chozo, you found like half a dozen lobsters, actually. You're like, oh, okay.
They were all just frozen.
And you're like, I was going to save this for the first world, but I think we all need our blood sugar up a little bit right now. Chozo, you go to make preparations to really be able to dive in and be like, all right, you are the expert, to really like hone in on what is happening around here. How are you going to circumvent the direct connection to the Nine Hells and get to the Fey realm, right? And like, or the first worlds, technically. You go to make those preparations as we pan over to Max. The camera passes past Buster, who is holding a lobster a little bit limp in his hand and looking down at it. And then we quickly...
I'm sorry, Chozo. It's just you don't understand. Ignis doesn't listen to words well. I'm trying to... I walk after him. Yeah.
Then we go over to Max and Ignis, where the color in Ignis's arm, where Max was holding, Ignis, would you say, starts to grow and fill the rest of her figure?
Okay, with that happening, Max wasn't going to do what he was going to do. But he'll just continue to kind of hold her hand and wait.
As Ignis comes back to herself, she opens her eyes and looks at him, and then she like looks past him to Buster as Buster's following after Chozo.
His back turned.
Yeah. What did you do that for? I needed her.
Because we needed you, Lieutenant.
Ignis will leap to her feet, leaving Max kneeling. No, you don't. You needed her. You heard what Chozo said. You have to have your emotions in line. I saw the way you lost your control just now. We need somebody like her. Somebody that can keep control of these emotions.
Max will kind of stand up with Ignis. From what I saw, that version was not in check with their emotions. They reeked of seeking power. You want something more.
And what do you want, Max? It may not have been me, but I saw what happened with the captain up there. The ghost captain. You think that your emotions, the way that you're feeling right now, helps anybody?
No. But I don't think it's healthy to deny how you feel either.
She meets his eyes and she says, I don't feel anything. But you can see her hands are clearly like shaking. Definitely lying. No zone of truth or insight needed.
Secret talk.
I don't think Griselda procedure. As she tries to regain that control again, she will shift the topic of conversation away from herself to, what did you see anyway? Why did you lose control on that ghost captain up there?
I saw the card keeper, the one who gave me my fate, had me draw a card and caused my wife to want to kill me.
She drops her eyes a little ashamed. Oh, I'm sorry about that. I'm sure that was upsetting.
Max will actually giggle a little bit. Seems you do feel something. As he thinks about her saying, I'm sorry. but I appreciate the words. Like I said, it was my own hell. Sometimes hell has answers. That's what I was hoping for.
Did you find any?
No, that's why I wanted to go back. But it didn't work out very well. Ignis, I know this isn't the time or place to have a great pep talk, because we gotta get going, but we don't need any other version of you. We need you. You're here. You're real. Flaws and all, feelings and all, regardless of how you feel about those. Or don't. You're my first mate, and you're enough.
She'll nod in response to that, just like accepting those words, even if you can tell she doesn't quite believe them. And as she moves past Max to go follow where Chozo and Buster were going, she just punches the armor on his shoulder a little bit as she passes and goes, "We need you too, Max. But we also need you to put that aside. We need a clear head and we need a clear leader. And sometimes for the greater good, you gotta let those things go." And as she's walking toward Buster and Chozo, and Max, as you're watching her walk away, there's almost like flickers and glitches of that armored Ignis flicker across her a few times as she follows the direction that they went, and I assume they went down to the bottom of the ship.
Max will just breathe in. All right. Let's find our captain. He'll walk and follow.
Buster says, "So when she shows up, she might cut me, okay? You don't defend me. It's a weird thing she does. I don't know. You have no idea how she'll react to hitting her with a lightning bolt. But,
There's usually pain involved. There's usually this.
Yeah, as Ignis comes back, she slaps him on the back of the head as she walks past
Ignis!
him.
Hey!
Mostly a jovial way, a little
Yeah.
bit serious.
Honestly, not bad. That's pretty. I didn't think.
Can we have a moment before Ignis shows up, perhaps?
Ooh. Oh, sure.
Yeah. So, like, I start walking away. I turn to my lantern and tell it to glow with the same light as a torch, which is one of the things it can do because I don't have dark vision. And I need to get down into the lower deck. And Buster, you following after. I think when you finally reach where Chozo has stopped, turns around to face you, and you're underwater, so you can't see anything coming out of his eyes when you arrive. But he just kind of pauses, takes a couple breaths, and says, Buster, I apologize. I have not worked in a team in perhaps 5 years or so. I have never been good at it, if the past is any indication. You know your comrades better than I do, and I will defer to your judgment of them.
Listen, Chozo, I've yet to meet anybody that is good at it. I don't know. I think being good at it just means that you can handle it longer than anybody else. So, anyway, we're our own unique kind of crazy. But I appreciate your helping us, and I'm sorry if I got in the way. Yeah. So, calm emotions. Whew, we got our work cut out for us.
Do you, perchance, have access to said spell?
I don't got anything that'll affect the emotions or the willingness of other creatures. Not something my family has ever specialized in.
And I think, like, we have been having kind of this moment in front of the portal, presumably.
Yeah, I'll describe the portal in a second, but yes, this is nearby the portal for sure.
Yeah, I kind of look in that direction and look back at Buster, and I say, as much experience as I have with these types of crossings, I am afraid that I do not know I can guarantee any given outcome when we attempt to make the crossing. We may try to give ourselves as good a chance as possible of making it to the first world. But we may have an unexpected detour along the way, and I do not know if we have the time to try and chill out enough, as it were.
Look, you brought us this far. We're all willing to take the next step, even if it is kind of a little muddy.
Muddy. This is a thing with you?
I grew up on a farm. My family. There's an entity, I don't know what kind, that apparently liked us because we were really good at farming and granted us a boon. I think trying to entice us is my guess. And no. Most of my family is pretty chill. They refused to go any deeper. Just kind of took the boon and kept moving forward. We're divination wizards in the family, more or less, but I didn't go to school for my wizardry. Learned it from my mom.
And now that you have left the mud, it is chasing you.
Yeah, I guess so. The sea kind of is one of the places I don't know. Maybe it wants me. Maybe it's just an affect that nobody from my family's ever experienced because I was off land for so long. To be honest, I don't have answers. But I get the vibe that this thing, whatever it is not, I don't know, kindly toward me.
They run the gamut, to be sure. These external forces. Have you ever considered killing it?
No, I've never considered killing. That sounds crazy, Chozo. No,
Would you like to consider killing it?
No. Gunther looks out into the sky around. I don't want to kill it. I don't want to see it. I would rather not. If any of them are listening, no, thank you. No, thank you. No. And we don't need to talk about that anymore. No. I'm occasionally it's saved my life once or twice, and I only really rely on those powers when I'm in the worst place and scared. So trying not to, but I'm currently without a magical focus, so it's a bit of a magical mess. But I mean, hey, I'm ready as I'll ever be.
Well?
And I say, now when Ignis comes down, she might attack me. So you may want to take a couple steps back. But I don't think she'll kill me. Might just wound. Oh, hey, Ignis.
While that whole conversation was happening, sorry, Chozo, were you going to say something?
Just the sort of final thing I say to Buster as the others show up. Well, if you do not wish to see it, and I kind of gesture with my beak in the direction of the portal, then I would encourage you, especially, to wrangle your fear.
Right, wrangle fear. Okay.
While this whole conversation is happening, there is the portal, which is near the bottom of the ship. And the bottom of the ship is actually, it's as if you could jump into it, right? Because the bottom of the ship have been eaten away by this portal itself. And yes, it is a ripple that you can has started, and you can clearly see where the tear has begun. But that tear has grown. And where each of you that had been thrust into a different plane, the ripple was slight, and it was just like a little, and then it was gone. This tear is exactly just that. It really looks like someone has taken a knife and started a tear, and then with both hands, they've started pulling both ends apart. And in the seam of reality, it looks like it is just being jaggedly ripped apart, and you can just see this swirling black, which turns to magma red, which turns to bright yellow, with the occasional spectral hand reaching out and trying to grab before getting pulled back into the portal. All four of you look at this portal as it just calls to you. It's just this. It's eerie.
Max is just gonna, as he kind of gets down there and as everyone's kind of looking at it, he'll just kind of, with Ignis, he'll look toward Ignis, give her a nod like, okay, I'm here. Toward Buster, he'll just kind of place a hand on his shoulder, kind of like as a signifier, like, I'm good. Then he'll look at Chozo and he'll go, besides calming our emotions, anything else that can help us with the odds?
I'm looking over the rift now that I'm actually seeing it. Very, like you imagine a used car salesman might look over a car that somebody is trying to sell to them and say, well, Halligan did not exactly set us up for success here with this portal that he has created. Very shoddily tearing at the fabric of reality. If it were a cleaner break, it would be a little easier to try and sculpt it to my will, but I have to deal with all of these frayed edges here. I turn to the rest of the group with a used car salesman-esque smile plastered on my face. As I was telling to Buster earlier, as experienced as I am with these crossings, I am afraid I cannot guarantee, based on the current circumstances, the location we end up in. There will be other options, surely, when we get to the other planes to try and hop from one place to the other. A slight detour, perhaps it might be. You all seem determined to move forward quickly, is what I have seen. Is this a chance you are willing to take?
Absolutely.
Yeah, the crew's like looking at each other. I was like, I don't know how to audio say what we just all did in the camera. Like, look, yeah.
I was like,
just like that check-in, right? Like each character checking in with all of our other characters of like, is this really what we're doing?
Could I real quick say to Ignis just one thing? Buster goes, you know when we saw all those different versions of ourselves, I saw a version of Ignis that looked like she was wearing me as a hat.
I saw a version of Buster in a dress.
Well, was it a nice dress?
It was.
Some tailors in my family.
I saw, just to be fair, I saw a version of me that didn't have a tail. It was kind of crazy.
this is all as like the camera is in center of like all four of you as you're all like surrounding and like it's panning like a slow like a clockwise shot as it goes from person to person to person to person.
Buster says, of all the crazy versions of ourselves there could be, Chozo, this is the one we've got, and I'm glad it is. And I don't mean to speak for everybody, but we're ready.
How do we do it?
Well,
Chozo, as you extend your hand out to Ignis, gesturing towards the sword that was left behind by Jezriah.
Ignis will draw the shoddy short, now it's a short sword for sure, out of her. She just had it wasn't in a sheath, it was just tucked into her belt. She'll draw it and hand it to him.
You see it's the same blackness that is swirling within the portal itself. And Chozo, you're able to focus in and use this focus to be able to, in a way, connect with this portal in particular. The connection being the first major important part, but then with each of your allies, you know their focus, their undivided attention, contributing to the final destination. I leave to you, Ned, any flavor you wish to add at this time, or speak to the rest of the crew.
Yeah, I look at the sort of matching energy between this sword and the portal. I need to carve up this portal to make it not lead to the Nine Hells. I think that would be the ideal, that would be the least ideal place for us to go of all the possible places we could go. So I need to change the energy of this sword. So I start to take stock of the planar energies I feel around me, and channel them into the sword, trying to put an especial emphasis on the totem I bear with me of Taiki the Luck Thief, trying to get as much of that Fey energy to the forefront as possible within kind of this kaleidoscope of various planar influences around us. But I can feel like even as I'm channeling that Fey energy, I can feel the muck and the grime from the plane of Earth coming off of Buster. I can feel the searing heat and radiance of the celestial realms coming off of Ignis. I can feel these sort of malevolent trickery and twisting of fate coming off of Max. And I can feel even some of those old lingering planar influences on my own body as I'm trying to focus in as much as possible on just this one specific energy. This one little satyr boy who said, "See you later, boy."
Yes.
Without intending to.
Not happening.
As you focus in, you take the sword, and you, after you are able to think and feel, and when you're ready, you strike down into the pool itself. And the black sword cuts through the blackness of the portal. And then you carve it in a wide circle. And as you do, you see that there is a portion of this portal as while Harrigan ripped this into a new dimension, you used his rip to cut something new, and the blackness disappears. Not for long, but it does, into a blank void of color. And at that point, Chozo, you know, and you instruct each of your allies to jump in now.
I gesture forward with the sword, my eyes wide with anticipation, and I say, "Follow me," and I tip backwards through the portal.
As the portal sucks you in, Chozo, followed by Buster. Ignis next. And finally, Max, as you see the blackness start to actually encompass that void, Max, you reach out with your hand, and as it touches the blackness, the void, just as the evil, malevolent black almost touches you, you almost stretch your body as thin as it can, almost like into a straight line, and it dives down into the void. I need everybody to roll me a percentile die.
Whoa!
No, not
Like
a
the
roll.
2 percentiles?
Not a roll.
D100.
The 2
0 to
percentiles?
100 here. Yes, full D100 percentile die.
Oh.
I'm gonna get
Based
on my
off
metal
of your
dice.
current state, I will give a specific weight to what I feel these strong emotions are right now. Chozo, what did you roll?
57.
57, thank you. Buster.
I think I rolled 95.
Max.
29.
And Ignis.
44.
You feel a gushing of wind just scream past your ears. And if your characters are screaming, you can't hear yourself screaming because the speed at which you're traveling is so fast. Chozo, familiar territory. But as each of you are connected with this purpose, with this set mind, Ignis and actually all of you start to see coming from Chozo this thread, this glowing white thread that falls from Chozo's foot directly into Buster's head, which then goes from Buster's feet and connects to Ignis, and then similarly to Max. Max, you actually have to grab it with your hand, being the last one, and you hold on, and you pull it tight to your chest, and you connect it to yourself. And as each of you are thinking, trying your best to hone in, to call to Ataraxia, to the first world, pulling yourself through, it's but a few moments, chaotic moments, before each of you pile on top of one another. Which, Chozo, that doesn't normally happen to you. You normally are aware of the exit, and you normally are able to prepare. And as each of you look up into your surrounding areas, you realize this is not the Fey realm. We'll find out where it is next time on I Cast Fireball.
Oh boy.
You're not going to describe it? You're not going to give us a little taste?
Do I feel a lot of dirt underneath my
Guesses
feathers?
in chat.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, players, thank you for joining us this week, as always, on this fun episode of I Cast Fireball. Listeners, thank you for following along with us on this fun arc that we are going on. We're in another plane of existence.
We
where
got
it is.
there.
We're going to have to tune in next time on the next Ice Cast Fireball. We'd love to hear your thoughts and your theories about where they might be, based off of the emotions, based off of the roles, about where they're going to end up. Go and shoot us an email at icastfireball2020@gmail.com. Shoot us a message on our Insta at icastfireball20. But our patreon.com/icastfireball20 is probably the fastest way you can get word to us and to the other fans, especially in our conspiracy theories thread that we have there. Go get that a check out. Folks, we have other podcasts. Rather, we have other campaigns that we are doing. We have Season 1 on our main podcast feed here, but on our $3 tier for Patreon, we have a visual podcast called Fizzband, where me and my wife take a turn to co-DM with some of our players here around the table. It's a ton of fun. It's 20 episodes. You can binge it. And we also have a free visual podcast on our YouTube channel. It's a Cosmere-related campaign going through the Stonewalkers Stormlight Archive TTRPG that has just recently been released. Go give that a listen. Go give that a check out. We also have a sister podcast, Improv Tabletop, Ned. Ned, they've been going through this fun Lego Monster of the Week adventure. Ned, how close are you to wrapping that up?
Who knows, baby? Who knows?
If you like Lego, if you like Scout Camp, if you like Summer Camp, if you like Monster of the Week, that is a fun campaign to go binge. Go give them, and don't forget to leave them a 5-star review on the way out. Lastly, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your friends and fellow wacky adventurers. But until next time, Thomas, your DM, and around the table we have
Lieutenant Ignis Halcon.
Maximus Shuns.
Chozo Levesque.
And Buster Bilgewater.
Let's keep that fire going, everybody, and we'll see you all next time.